Deadlifting is a very complicated exercise that does more harm than it can do good. The definition of a deadlift is an exercise of picking weight up off the floor and bringing it up to hip level and then putting it back on the ground. I have worked out for over 5 years now. And for the past 2 years, I have been working with a personal trainer. The deadlift is explained by many as being one, if not the most complicated exercise that you can do in the gym. The sources that I am citing are coachmag.uk, livestrong.com, powerlifting.life, and spinehealth.com. I'm going to try and persuade you that deadlifting is not worth it. Deadlifting is way more complicated than just picking a bar up off the ground and putting it back down. CoachMag.uk states that the proper way to deadlift is standing with your feet shoulder width apart, grasp the bar with your hands just outside your legs, and lift the bar, pushing your hips forward to keep a straight back. The website also says that during the lift, you need to keep your abs braced throughout the entire movement to maintain an arched lower back and a strong and stable body, especially when attempting heavier lifts. Engage your core even more from the very start so your abs are tensed as you squat down to grip the bar. And as you're about to lift the bar, breathe deep into your belly and hold your breath and brace your abs hard like you're about to be punched in the gut. These are some of the things that you're supposed to have in a correct form for deadlift. For example, Ronnie Coleman, the greatest bodybuilder of all time, has had to have his entire back fused together because of all the slip discs and herniated discs he's had over the years from all the deadlifts he's done. And plus, there are plenty of other exercises that have more benefits than the deadlift, such as hang cleans, Bulgarian squats, glute raises, and barbell hip thrusts. As you can see, deadlifting is quite a complicated and dangerous exercise. Deadlifting is complicated from all the things you're supposed to do during the lift to how much weight you're doing on the lift, because the weight can affect really just about anything you do. It adds more depth to the exercise. Now that I've told you just how complicated the lift is, let me tell you the risks of deadlifting. The risks of deadlifting outweigh the reward. Deadlifting can cause major injuries, according to Livestrong.com. Some of the injuries you can get from deadlifting can hinder you for the rest of your life, such as torn hamstrings, slip discs, and knee injuries. Some of these knee injuries you can get happen when your form is off just by a little bit, meaning that your feet could be pointing the wrong direction, causing your knee to contort in a weird way, and pop, there it goes. It'll never be the same again. Powerlifting.life states, during the deadlift, a ton of stress is being put on the acetabellum, where the femoral head moves in the hips. Powerlifting.life states, during the deadlift, a ton of stress is being I said that twice, I'm sorry. The website describes the hip as a delicate joint that can differ from person to person, meaning no two people's hips are the same. For example, one can be up here and one can be a little down here, or vice versa, one could be a little bit farther back. You never know how your hips are set in your body, and it can really have a bad effect on how you deadlift, and it can cause major injuries. Sadly, I learned from experience 2 years into my lifting journey. I injured my back by slipping a disc in my lower lumbar. Since deadlifting caused my slip disc, I had to endure 4 months of physical therapy and steroid injections in between my physical therapy. Spinehealth.com states, a slip disc as a invertebral disc of the spine that has lost its normal shape and or consistency. Therefore, deadlifting is a very complicated, dangerous lift that can be supplemented by other safer exercises. Deadlifting is like putting your back in a vise. Before I finish, I want to ask you to do two things. First, I want you to go watch Robert Obert's Why Deadlifting Isn't Worth It. He talks about how in the NFL, all these players are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to work out, and if you go in their gyms, you won't see them doing deadlifts. You'll go in there and you'll see them doing hang cleans or power cleans because the risk to reward ratio is far greater. This last thing I want you to do is go watch a deadlift gone wrong video, and you will see just how bad some of the injuries can be from deadlifting. The deadlift, if you can't see, is a very costly exercise when done wrong. I know there are many people who haven't gotten injured from deadlifts, but it just takes that one time before you're messed up for life. Don't do the deadlift. It's not worth it.